So far, in My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, we have been properly introduced to 3 and inadvertently shown 1 set of parents from the main 6. In the instance of Twilight and Rarity, they both resemble their parents in one way or another. Rarity has a white body like her father and purple hair from her mother. Twilight has her mother's hairstyle and purple color scheme. Rainbow Dash's parents are hinted at in Season 3 with Games Ponies Play, when Rainbow recalls Cloudsdale losing the bid for the Equestria Games, and is why I count this as the inadvertent 3rd set of parents. I speculate that Rainbow is related to the stallion and mare in the clip at the beginning of the episode for 2 reasons. The first being that in a city the size of Cloudsdale, no parent in their right mind would let their young filly go to a large citywide event alone. Secondly, Rainbow clearly shares the mane color of the stallion on one side of her and the eye color of the mare on the opposite side. This brings me to the 4th set of parents introduced way back in the Cutie Mark Chronicles of Season 1, Pinkie's parents. Unlike the others, Pinkie looks nothing like her family. In fact, the only thing she shares with them is the straight hairstyle, which is tied to her mood as shown in later episodes. This realization leads to quite a bit of speculation and, of course, this headcanon and many others. In the most recent episode, Pinkie Apple Pie, the idea of Pinkie's personal history being incomplete is brought to the forefront of everyone's mind once again, not only from viewers, but also from Pinkie herself. As in the episode, she states multiple times how she is excited to be a part of a family. What I find most notable about this is that Pinkie only becomes excited after finding written proof, however uncertain and unsupported that written proof happens to be. Although we never find out whether Pinkie is related to the apples, it is easy to conceive that she can be related to them somehow. Many people believe that Pinkie is related to Golden Delicious, due to similarities between her and Pinkie. I see this being extremely possible, so much so that I'd like to believe that it's true. This brings me to the main point of this headcanon. I believe Pinkamena Diane Pie is adopted. And yes, I realize that this isn't a new concept, but please, just stick with me. I think this for a few reasons. First off, as stated before, Pinkie looks nothing like the rest of her family. Her coloration scheme and interests are very different than theirs, and therefore makes her stand out in an odd way when looking at other ponies and their parents. Another reason is that Pinkie seems to have a disconnect from her family. She isn't involved with them or their lifestyle at all. This includes her siblings, whom we never see or hear about again. Unlike with Twilight and Rarity, where they seem to have at least a moderately active family relationship. This isn't to say that Pinkie doesn't care about her family. I think she loves them quite a bit. I mean, this is Pinkie after all. However, there is something to be said about wanting to know where you come from. For people who are born into their family, they don't have to wonder where they came from. It isn't a question. They know. Pinkie does not. So the idea that she might have somewhere to start in finding this out, she becomes extremely excited. I watched Pinkie Apple Pie with this part of the headcanon already present in my mind. It wasn't until that episode that I saw a possible connection between Pinkie's upbringing and the apples. I like to believe that Pinkie was born into her real family and her parents were friends with the rock farmers. I think that Pinkie's parents died in a similar way to Applejack's parents, as stated in many other headcanons. However, unlike AJ, I think this happened when Pinkie was a baby, and therefore she doesn't remember them. I like to believe that the Rock family brought her in and raised her as their own. I believe that they love her just as much as they love their own children, like most adoptive parents do. I also think that Pinkie doesn't know for sure that she's adopted. I think she knows that she is different from her family, but I don't think she's been told for sure yet. Relatively speaking, Pinkie is still fairly young. She is still learning her place in the world, and is still interning with the cakes. So it is very possible that her parents haven't taken an opportunity to tell her what happened. These are just my thoughts, though. I know that plenty of people have their own ideas on this particular subject, although when I was researching it, I didn't see any videos on it. I've seen plenty of ideas written down and in diagrams, though, but since there wasn't a video, I decided to make it myself. Some may agree with me, some may disagree. Either way, I would love to know. So let's have a conversation. Goodbye for now, and I will see you in the comments.